In the media and uh, political realms, they have started talking more about UFO sightings. UFO sightings is something that has happened for hundreds of years, since the 30s, I think 1930s. And people are just now starting to talk about it. And they want to know, is there anything else out there? Yes, there is. We're not the only ones on the earth, and I can attest to it. Um, I remember, I think I was about 7 years old. There was like this thing that came in my room, and um, I told my mom about it. It was pulling at me, it was trying to have me go with it, and I wouldn't go. I I fought it actually. And then after that occurrence, I said, well, maybe it was just a dream or something. But then when I was 15 years old, my mom, she probably rarely will talk about it, but we were coming from her friend Helen's house. And we were coming up, driving along a canal. The canal was pretty full with water. And as we were riding, headed back home, there was like this bright light. It was just in the sky and it was moving weird. And then it just came down suddenly over the car. And it was like whatever existence there was, it was wiped out of our mind. Because the only thing I remember was that white light coming down out of the sky. And then when we came back, I don't know if we were taken or brought back. It was just that when we were back into the earthly reality, the car mama was driving, was like all the way up the street and parked on the side of the road. That wasn't where we were. It was like the car had moved. And so when we went home, well, when we were in the car, I looked at my mom and she looked at me and she just started the car back up and we headed back home. And when I got back home, she didn't talk anymore about it. And that morning when I woke up, I looked down, there was like this, it felt like a metal little ball in my leg. It was a movable little ball under my skin. And I didn't know what it was. I was like, this wasn't here before. It feels like metal under my skin. So um, some things did start to happen after that, but I only kind of like said, well, it's God. Like one morning, I was still about 15. I woke up with a horrible nosebleed. I mean, horrible, horrible nosebleed. And it wouldn't stop. And my mom got up in the middle of the night. And I remember she had a white towel trying to stop the blood, and the blood was just, it soaked the towel. And I said, Mom, I say, get the Bible and read Corinthians, I think Corinthians 13. So she started reading Corinthians 13, and the curtain blew up. It like, and my mom, she looked behind the blinds to see if the windows were open. The windows were closed shut. And then suddenly my nose stopped bleeding. After that, let me see what else. My menstrual cycles. oh my gosh, like people have normal cycles, and they usually line up near the fifth day or so. Not mine. I would bleed so heavily. I would have like the worst cramps ever. I mean, to the point that I couldn't go to school. And then if I went to school, I would just bleed so much that it would just drain all down my legs. And none of that started happening until, yeah, around a little ways after I was 15, after whatever that was in the sky came down in this bright light. I have no explanation for it. I don't know what it was. Um, it was unidentified by us because we didn't know what it was. But I just know strange things started happening after that, for sure. Um, and I actually met a guy from New York. He was up in New York and came down. He lives down here now. And we got to talking. I don't know how we got on the subject about childhood. And then he started to tell me that he was awakened from his sleep when he was about 12 or 13. And there was like this bright light outside of his window. He said he looked, and the light, it lit up his whole room. He said he could see something. He couldn't really see whether it was an object. He, as a kid, he said, well, it's a spaceship. But he wasn't, as an adult, he said he really didn't know what it was. It was just this really, really bright light. And I don't remember if he told me he lost time, but my mom and I, we definitely lost time when that bright light came over us. Because when we came back, we were in a different location, parked on the side of the road, and we don't know how we got there. So she experienced it, and I experienced it. We experienced it at the same time. And I know if we experienced it at the same time, that it had to have happened. And but I still could not explain what happened to me when I was younger, when whatever that was came in my room and was trying to pull me with it. I did speak with a psychologist about it. I spoke to a medium about it, and I can't remember, but I believe I had like a hypnosis session, and whatever it was really actually happened. My consciousness, my memories remembered this, and it was very real. So, if you ask me the question, is there something other than human out there? I would tell you yes. And it even stated in my grandma's old Bible, she had one of those big Bibles, one of the old type Bibles, before they start taking sections of it out. And it spoke about extraterrestrial beings in the Bible. So the newer Bible, I went looking for it, but I couldn't find it. I think one other Bible that I looked in, it mentioned extraterrestrial beings. That we are not the only ones in on Earth. We really are not, and they walk among us, just like people say angels walk among us. They do. And other things other than human walk among us too. I truly believe that. This Colored Roses and Thorns, the views and opinions are my own and of experiences that I have experienced. Have a good day.